Greetings, fanboys. This is Brandon, and I have something really interesting for you today. This is a lost episode of Fanboys Forever. Back in the summer of 2012, we shot all kinds of crazy reviews. We were shooting 10 reviews a week, and we were only editing maybe 2 or 3, at most 4 reviews a week. So we have a lot of footage still laying on the cutting room floor, and we had thought, we don't necessarily have to use that, or it's something people don't need to see. Long story short, we've decided it would be a shame to let all that footage go to waste. So, even though these aren't contemporary toys, and it's not going to give you a look at something brand new, and in some cases these aren't even items that are on the shelf anymore, we just think it's something you get a big kick out of, and maybe if there's an older item that you're thinking about going back and picking up, this might sway your opinion one way or the other. So please enjoy this very special, never-before-seen lost episode of Fanboys Forever.
No, I think this is going to be the end.
I'm prepared to die, Batman. Your punishment will be far more severe.
Alright, you made a fantastic choice. Here we have, for the very first time in action figure form by Mattel, Alfred Pennyworth, Batman's faithful butler.
Yes, for the very first time from Mattel, we have an Alfred figure. So, let's get right into it. Dun, 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 dun. Here he is, Sir Michael Caine. That's right, folks, the very first Michael Caine action figure ever, and if that's not right, please tell me in the comments, and I will go and buy the very first one. But yes, I believe it is, and here we have this beautiful sculpt. Really, it's the best sculpt in the whole Movie Masters lineup for The Dark Knight Rises. And let's talk about why that is. Is it because of the suit body? Not necessarily. This suit body's been reused again and again and again, but that doesn't mean it's ineffective here. As you can see, the coat that's a little puffy here makes it look like Alfred has a little bit more of a thickness or a weight to him, and a gentleman of his age should definitely have that. Let's go to the head, because you guys know what to expect from a suit buck. And as you can see, boy, that is Michael Caine, definitely. And as we can see, it is an older Michael Caine. It's not a Michael Caine from a few years ago or anything like that. It really is a contemporary sculpt for Michael Caine. This is definitely how he will appear in The Dark Knight Rises as a much older gentleman, as we've seen in the trailers. Now, we can see the hair has a really nice sculpt to it. It's very intricately detailed with all the different hairs. That's right, it's a nice comb-over. Thank you, Horseman. And one of the only problems that I've had with the sculpt is the tie seems to be glued on a little crooked, which seems to be an issue with a lot of people's. Now, if you heat this thing up, you should be able to reshape it back down to where it should be, but I've just not done that yet. Sculpting with the suit buck, that's what you guys expect, but just in case no one else knows, we have buttons on the shirt, which is always a good thing, and some, little creases and things in the shirt. Now we have the belt down here, and of course we have some appropriate creases in the pants and dress shoes and all of that. The hands might be from something else, I think, one of the other previous Movie Masters figures, but I'm not entirely sure. Other than that, the jacket looks nice, and like I said, once you fix the tie, it's not so bad that way. So, really, just overall, he looks very nice. Great sculpt.
The body is predominantly unpainted. It's mostly molded plastic, so there aren't a lot of paint applications, save for the buckle on the belt and a little bit of detail on the tie. But what it lacks in paint on the body, it makes up for strides with the paint on the head sculpt. Just a really great flesh tone, which really adds to the likeness. Eyes are painted very well. Eyebrows are applied excellently. And then there's a fantastic white wash on top of the gray hair, which really shows Sir Michael Caine's age very well.
Alright guys, for articulation, it's exactly what we've come to expect from the suit body buck. Because we have cuts up here at the shoulder, go up and down, side to side. We have a single joint here in the elbow, and we have a cut down here at the wrist. We of course have an ab crunch that is actually very effective. As we can see, Alfred can go way down or way up. Of course, there is a cut here at the head, and it has a decent up and down movement. As you can see, you can get them down that way or up that way, and it's actually pretty effective, unlike a lot of the other head articulation in the Movie Masters line.
Unfortunately, the head will not pop off, which is a shame, because we'd love to put Michael Caine's head on Batman or, something like that. It would be perfect comedy, but
it probably could pop off, but I don't want to take the risk.
Yeah.
Of course, we have a cut here at the thigh. We have a single jointed knee, but it has really good motion for a single joint. And we have a slight up and down here at the foot, enough to steady a pose. And we have an in and out here at the hips and up and down. And that does it for articulation.
There's not a lot to look out for with this figure. This is a really good sample right out of the box. There's no stuck articulation or frozen joints or anything. The one issue, unfortunately, is that for as good as the head sculpt is and as good as the paint is, it's just a little bit shiny. Alfred looks like he's been sweating an awful lot. More than anything, it just makes the head mismatch the body a little bit. He doesn't include any accessories, again, like most of the movie masters. I would have really liked the golf club from Batman Begins, but I guess it's just...
I was actually wanting a Butler's server tray, and I mean that, I really do, because he does use it in the movies, like when he's going to give the note to Bruce in The Dark Knight. But, that's what I really wanted. Yeah. And I really think they should have, and they could have, especially considering they only had to do a head sculpt for this figure and a Bat Signal CNC piece. But, I mean, come on, guys, you should have given us a little something. However, there is something to be said for a Michael Caine action figure, so thank you, Mattel. We do appreciate that.
An old man in a suit is just something you're not going to get in hardly any toy line, so, again,
especially hanging on the pegs at Walmart.
Yeah. He does, however, include a very integral part of the Collect and Connect bat signal. That's the interior part of the drum that creates the light. That's one piece you absolutely can't build it without, so if you're going to put it together, you're going to have him.
You better be prepared to buy an old man figure, folks, whether you want him or not. And if you're into this hobby, you really should want Alfred, I would think. Alright, so that was the Dark Knight Rises Movie Masters Alfred figure. Some general thoughts about the figure itself. From the very beginning, I always knew that Mattel would reuse the suit buck that they're so famous for using again and again in Movie Masters.
Much like Batman, it's a case where if you're a collector of these lines, you probably bought that suit body 3 or 4 times by now. So you're buying a lot of what you've gotten before, but the little extra details make it worth it.
And with an Alfred figure, especially one that's so accurate to the film, I'm really going to understand, because they are selling an old man in a suit figure at Walmart.
You don't see Hasbro doing that.
No. And so it's a big risk, and I really appreciate that Mattel went there, and that Alfred is one of the starting lineup in Wave 1.
Yeah.
And that's a great thing. And of course, since everybody loves Michael Caine's performance so much in the Dark Knight films, it's, it's so appropriate that we got a figure. So
definitely. He's been due, from the very beginning of this franchise, so great that he's one of the characters they could get out for the last hurrah. Also, if you just love Michael Caine, the actor, like we do, it's always great to get an action figure, a general action figure of an actor that you really like.
And just a suit,
So this is your Harry Brown action figure.
He can be a Cider House Rules Michael Caine or anything like that, whatever you need, So from the beginning, we knew that Alfred wouldn't be any sort of groundbreaking or revolutionary figure due to the extensive reuse of the butt body. But Alfred really pulls through to be a great little figure.
And as you know, we've talked about how great the likeness is and how appropriate it is for the film.
Of course, he comes with a very integral part of the bat signal, as we mentioned. So, with all this in mind, you really can't go wrong getting this Alfred figure. And like we always say, if you're going to get him at Kmart, if you possibly can, where he's only $12.99. And even for $16, I would say Alfred is still a 4 out of 5 stars.
I know what you're thinking. 4 stars? How we all got mad? No, he really is 4-star figure.
He really is. And come on, we all love Alfred.
We all love Michael Caine. Come on, people.
It's Alfie. Come on.
Yeah.
Come on. Till next time, guys.
This has been Brandon.
And this has been Jared.
Subscribe. Thanks for watching.
Fanboys forever.
1 year after the events of The Dark Knight.
I finally gotten out of Arkham Asylum. It took me a year, but I'm ready to be the villain for the sequel.
Hold it right there, young man.
Who are you?
I'm Harry Brown, baby. And that's a fact.